My name's Paul Garlinghouse, and I'm a lawyer. I've been a lawyer in Connecticut for nearly 18 years, and primarily practicing in the area of family law. I've seen a ton of judges, and by and large, I have to say that those men and women have done their best to try to make fair decisions and to try to follow the laws of the state of Connecticut and the Constitution of the United States, because the Constitution does provide fundamental protection for the rights of parents to care for their children. Which is why I have to tell you guys today from firsthand experience what happened to my client, Darric Myers, in Judge Jane Emons' courtroom was completely illegal and out of the ordinary and in complete defiance of the statutes that give all of our judges their power. What happened was Darric, who's the father of a boy who's now 5, filed a custody action against the mom. Now, that's proper. When mom and dad have a kid together and they're both in the birth certificate, there's no determination of who has the rights to have that child when. You have to file a custody action, which he did. He was granted that custody initially. But then he came in front of a different judge, Judge Emons, and inexplicably, she allowed a distant relative of the child to have custody. And she did this without following the statutes that the legislature passed to protect the rights of parents. Specifically, and the case is called Fish versus Fish. It's a 2008 Connecticut Supreme Court case, if you wanted to look it up. And it says very clearly in black letter law that if some non-parent wants to come in and intervene in a custody case between the parents, that they have to file a motion and they have to prove that they have a parent-like relationship with the child and that it would be harmful to the child to be in the custody of their parent. Now, that's not easy to show. It's unusual that someone could show that, and that's deliberately there to protect the rights of the parent to have their child. Now, they train judges, so the judge must have known this law, but without any of those procedures being followed, and in a very high-handed manner, she handed over custody of the kid to this other person. Now, Mr. Myers didn't have a lawyer. Most of the parents, most of the parties that come into our courts in Connecticut cannot afford lawyers and do not have representation. Nonetheless, he said correctly, I'm the father. I don't have to hand over my child to her. Now, that is absolutely correct. And never during 2.5 more years were those findings ever made. Never was that motion ever filed. There was none of that done. And I want to say that there have been a lot of smears made against people, including my client, who's sitting right over there. And I want to make very clear right here and now that in all that time and in all the issues we reviewed about Judge Emons' illegal orders, whatever religion she might happen to be was completely unknown to us, not to mention irrelevant. And for people to come forward and to try to cast smears on my client, who has fought steadfastly for 2.5 years to get his boy back, with these kinds of smears against their intentions, I find to be reprehensible, and I want to put that to bed once and for all right here in front of you all. Now, Judge Emons has never corrected her illegal action. She followed her illegal custody order with a whole series of illegal restraining orders. Those illegal restraining orders also violated the statute, 46B15 if you want to look it up. And they were overturned eventually by the appellate court, but too late. They'd already gone on for over a year, keeping him separate from his kid by court order for over a year. And then that went on further. She made further illegal custody orders, none of them following the Connecticut statutes which give the judges their power. This system may or may not be broken, but I have to tell you that there has been to this minute, to this day, no accountability for the illegal and harmful actions that Judge Emons took. because this child was deprived of his dad for over 2.5 years, and that has harmed him, and it was wrong.